Hey everyone, it's Mandy. Thanks so much for joining me for another process video. Today I have a junk journal spread to share with you for the Vicki Boutin design team. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry I haven't been here sharing any new videos over the past few weeks. Life just got a little bit hectic there for a bit. My kids were sick with colds and I just really felt the need to just scale things back a little bit because I felt like things were just getting on top of me a little bit. So that's where I've been, but I'm back now. I'm starting to get back on top of things again, so that's a good thing. So I have a new video to share with you, and so as I said, I'm working on a junk journal spread. And if you are not aware, Vicki Boutin has organised a junk journal summer camp challenge. So she has some prompts to get you to just be creative as often as you can. So for June there are 30 prompts, and they're really easy, simple things that you can do even if you've only got 5 or 10 minutes to spare. The idea is just to get you getting creative and practicing your mixed media, and it's for any skill level, whether you're a beginner or more advanced. You just do it at whatever level you're at. So the prompts for June, as I said, are very simple and easy. You don't need to worry about, you know, whether it's going to be too difficult, because it's not. She just wants you to start somewhere. Basically, if you have been afraid to jump in the deep end with mixed media, then this is a really great place to start. And I've really found working in my junk journal is such a great way of practicing my mixed media techniques because it's on a smaller scale. I just find that, and I feel like there's less pressure working in my junk journal. I don't know why, but maybe it's just I just feel like, as opposed to working on when I first started with mixed media, as opposed to working on a 12 by 12 layout, I just found it easier just to work in a junk journal, just to get used to the products and see how they work, and then you can transfer all of those techniques that you use in your junk journal onto your scrapbook layouts if that's what you want to do. Okay, so what am I doing here today? I'm working on a double spread, so I've taped my 2 pages together so that I can do the background sort of as one big background, and then I'll separate the 2 pages. And so I primed my pages with gesso first before I got started, because I knew I was going to be using lots of wet mediums, and I always find that I can blend my colours easier and move them around on my page more easily if I've primed it with gesso first. And so then what I did was, using my matte acrylic gel, I applied it through that circle stencil. So I didn't do it to the whole background. I just sort of did it sort of in a diagonal pattern from the bottom left up to the top right. I didn't want to cover the entire background because I wanted it to just add some more texture and interest behind the watercolor that I was going to add. But yeah, I didn't want to cover the entire background with it. So then all I did was, you can see there, I just scribbled the art crayons onto some plastic packaging and added a little bit of water using my water brush, and then just smushed the packaging, or Vicki calls it kissing, kissed the packaging to the background. It's really easy. It's you can't really go too far wrong with this technique. And I find, particularly if I've primed my background with gesso, even if you sort of make a mistake, I mean, there's no mistakes in mixed media really, but it's more forgiving if you have gesso on your background, because you can, because gesso resists the art crayons, you can wipe it up if you don't like what you've done. Okay, so I covered my background. Now I made sure that, because I was using both warm and cool colours on this page, I didn't want them to mix, because they would make a muddy colour if they did. So I made sure I did the warm colours first, so the orange and that yellow. I did that first and let that dry completely before I came in with that aqua blue colour. And that way I made sure that they didn't mix together to create a muddy colour. Okay, and then the last thing I did on my background was some stamping, and so I just did a bit of tone-on-tone stamping. So where I had aqua on the background, I stamped some aqua circles over the top, and the same with the orange and the yellow. So it was really an easy background to create. There was really just the 3 layers. So I started with the matte acrylic gel. I then added my art crayons and then did some stamping on top. So, you know, once you master each of these techniques, then you can put them together to build up layers like I've done on this page. And really that was quite easy just to add those 3 layers. And I love the fun textured background that created, and it's so colourful and bright. So I'm going to document 2 selfies of me with my 3 kitties. They're kind of fun, silly ones, so I thought that really went nicely with the background because it's such a bright and fun background. I thought these photos would work nicely with that background. And so I went ahead and fussy cut some butterflies out of the social butterfly patterned paper, and I'm just sort of bringing in more of those yellows and oranges. I've also brought in a little bit of red on one of the butterflies because in the photos my son is wearing a red shirt, so I just wanted to bring in a little bit of that as well into my embellishing. And then over on the right I've added a journaling tag or label where I'm going to add my journaling. And then I'm going to add my title above my photos there using the Vicki Boutin chipboard thickers. And that black title is just going to contrast nicely against all of the bright colours on the page. And I didn't want to line up those letters. I decided to sort of have them looking a little bit messy because I think that kind of adds to the fun feel of the page. So now I'm just having a look at the cardstock stickers, and I decide on adding one there just to create a little cluster around that label. So I'm going to add one across the bottom of it there, and then also tuck a butterfly in as well underneath that sticker. So I'm happy with how this is looking now, and so I'm going to start getting things stuck down. You'll see with the butterflies that I'm just adding some liquid glue to the center of them because I don't want the wings to be stuck down flat. I want them to lift nicely up off the page. And then I'll add my journaling to that label once I get everything stuck down. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just add a few enamel dots, and then I will be all done. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So I'll be back soon, hopefully next week, with another video for you. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye.